Hello, and welcome to Khyber Shards, the 5th edition actual play set in the Eberron campaign world. It is Friday, and we've got another Khyber Shards Answers. So, we started our first episode of the 3-episode arc in the Red Ring, and the 3-episode arc with Mia as our guest.
Yay, Mia!
Woo!
Yes,
this was super exciting. We've
ever.
been working up getting Mia on the show for months, essentially. And I'd been sort of planning it in the back of my head and just waiting to get the main storyline to a place where it could hold while we did this thing that, well, it's not insubstantial to the plot at all. Some cool things happen, but it's something that you could guest in. So I'm super excited for you all to see the rest of that. And we got our first episode this time. If you're wondering, because it came up in the watch party, we do plan to try and schedule a KSA with Mia, but we'll probably do it after the last episode that she's on has aired, so that questions can be asked about the whole experience together rather than just this. Yeah, sorry, whacked my microphone stand there.
The gong started the game.
The gong has sounded.
I'm ready to go again. I'll roll initiative. Let's do this.
Awesome. So, Paul, this episode was mostly introducing gladiators.
All of
Pogs'
them.
fellow competitors.
So
yes,
many fighters.
there are a lot of fighters. Yes, there ended up being a lot of NPC cards strewn around my desk and on my computer screen and various other places. It was challenging.
I don't know how you managed it.
Well, I did a few things that kind of made it easier. I had rolled initiative for all of them ahead of time, so I already knew what their initiative was, as well as the initiative for almost everything else. So there were only a couple of things I ended up needing to roll initiative for over the course of the game. I had cards set up for each of them that were just generic monster cards. Anytime they hit something, I used average damage instead of rolling damage, which saved time, with the exception, I think, of Kolos. I think Kolos is the only one I was actually rolling damage for. Everyone else was just using average. And I had kind of... Well, this didn't end up helping very much because things got very chaotic very quickly, but I had kind of plotted out the approach that each of them would take ahead of time.
Or so you thought.
Yeah, and that held up for a round-ish.
Guys, your spoiler into this upcoming episode is things go off the rails fast.
Which really shouldn't be spoilers on this show at this point, because
you've made it this
that's
far.
just every single time things go way off the rails. So I'm curious because while Pog is very adventurous, he comes off as he's sweet. He's kind of a gentle person. Even if he is very excited about the sort of warrior adventuring thing, which I really enjoy. What is it about gladiator fight that makes Pog go, yes?
The chance to do more outside of the gladiator fights. My lights are brightening on me right now. The chance to do more. Violence for violence sake. Not super compelling, not super interesting. Adventure, I mean, that's kind of what these people do, you know. We've had some clarification as to the caliber of people that are in some of these organizations, and these are some exciting individuals that are inside this ring, and so the chance to get to be on the same stage as them, this isn't an end goal. Pog's never wanted to be a ring gladiator. He's never wanted to make his name there. It's a chance for his name to be spoken, to begin. That this is This is an incredible opportunity. And most importantly, I think it's an easy yes because it's Kolos.
Yeah.
And there is undeniable hero worship there. I mean, you don't have to be a basketball fan to accept a pass from Michael Jordan. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
I would love to shoot around with you. So, you know, it was a pretty easy moment. And he sold it very well initially, as reminding Pogs that Solarca would be there. This is a chance to show your capability, especially coming off having that offer be made at the end of our last arc, where there was a lot of frustration emotionally from Pog of going, I can do more than just walk around behind y'all.
Yeah.
I have good ideas. I have physical capabilities, and I don't know where I fit right now. And then Kolos going, I know exactly what you do, and I'd like you to come do it in front of people and have them cheer for you. Yeah, please. You know, let's do that. So
awesome. And I feel like we have to talk about this. How unprepared were you for Eric?
Okay, so you guys have seen Eric for half an episode.
Yeah.
At this point, your next spoiler is his call doesn't cut out for any reason.
Right.
In the next episode. We've all been friends for a long time. For those that haven't heard, Philip, Eric, and I were roommates in college. I'm very confident in our comedic abilities as individuals, much less when playing together. And yet I was not prepared, is my answer. I didn't know he had that ready. It's so much, and it's so good. I wasn't ready. And he just gets better. He just gets better in the second episode of this. It's so good.
It made it so completely impossible to play quickly off of him most of the time. I think I started to get there towards the end of the arc, but that initial thing, like I was watching back through the episode, I'm just dead. Like I had this idea of what was going to happen. Yeah. And it was like that divided by 4. And it just came in so hard that there was no reacting. It was.
I'm personally very grateful that Mio is there because RA is a very composed man, and Casey laughs with her face, and I laugh from everything I carry around down here. And so it was great to have another soulful laugher in there, because I was like, you guys are hearing this, right? Like, I'm not alone. This is bananas. And I like the fact that you guys were also later able to kind of bring some character, and they weren't caricatures the longer that went on. It was a joy to play with. Well done, Eric.
What I do realize is
Eric and Philip
is that we never named that character.
Nope, not at all.
The Etten does not have a name.
It is left head.
We will need to name the Etten at some point, because I can't imagine that the Red Ring won't recur as a location. So
left head and right head.
If you have ideas for the name of our Etten, comments below. Name the Etten.
That's it.
Man,
one of them named Yakov, the other named Smirnov.
That was I was not ready for that.
He brought it.
I was also not ready for RA's introduction speech.
Wow. Lock Nitu, huh? Let's talk about Lock Nitu. Boy, did he come out of left field for me. And this is the opposite for me because I've known RA and Casey for the duration of this campaign.
Yeah.
Very funny people. But my roleplay experience is Esri, which is very dry, very biting, humor. And to just see the complete other side of the spectrum, loud, braggadocious. I loved Lock Nitu. I loved it. I got a little bit saddened by the fact that Lock Nitu was like, yeah, we're fighting everybody. Because Paul was like, we could really get along. I think we could win this together, maybe. I loved it. And I like that Casey decided she'd had enough of the, for the good of everyone, and was like, nah, we're going to kill some stuff. I'm going to be a heartless violence monster. I loved it. It's so good. I'll fight all of you. Oh,
And
okay.
smile. I'll fight all of you. Oh, man. And again, the degree to which I was entirely caught off guard by how funny the players were is so obvious in the Drea introduction when she goes, everybody fights, right? You can just see on my face as I go, where are we going? Where are we going right now?
Drea's going into the stands to murder the spectators. Why aren't they fighting good? I loved it. It's so good. It's so good. Oh, man.
It really was. I'm so excited for people to get to see Nardily in action. I don't want to get too much into that because I want to save that for when Mia's here. But, oh, man, the amount of... I mean, considering that all we're going to get of her right now is this gladiator fight, is a big extended action sequence. The amount of stuff that Mia wrote for me about Nardily, like I know so much about Nardily, and I love that.
I love it,
and I want to talk about that process with her, of course. But I loved. I mean, I paired. So part of her backstory was her being that she'd been at the arena for a while. So I knew she wasn't an amateur, so that's why I brought her in with Kolos. But I really loved that she just immediately jumped into, yeah, okay, I'm buddies with Kolos. I know this. That it was she immediately was with a new player. You never know. And that's another reason is I put her next to Kolos. If she's not ready for this, she can sort of stand by Kolos and be the strong, silent type with Kolos, and that'll make perfect sense in the scene. It'll be fine. And just her immediate looking at everybody and like, oh, what is this? What is going on here? Yeah.
Yeah. Man, I tell you, Mia and D&D is fish to water. She was made for this game. I stand by. I said it off camera when we finished. Not her first time playing. Not her first time.
She's just having us on.
100%. And I also, she's incredible. I can't wait for you guys to see what Mia has in store for you.
Oh man,
it's amazing.
It's just, I'm not going to say any more about it. It's just, oh boy,
watch it.
Yep, watch on Monday. If you have somehow watched no Khyber Shards and this is the first Khyber Shards thing you're watching,
how?
Watch Monday. Catch up whatever you can, but watch Monday. It's so good. Okay, we have just one question today, and it is for you about Pog.
Convenient,
yes. Eric asks, what are Pog's feelings about honor?
That is an intense and broad question. He's for it. Big fan. Likes their earlier stuff. Honor's important, and honor is also fluid. As I said earlier, Pog never wanted to be an arena fighter. Violence for violence sake is not interesting. Even in recent sessions where Pog has called for violence, or at least supported violence, it's been in a service of the greater good. It's been in a service of doing what is right. You know, in the call to kill Tommel, killing Tommel may not be right, but keeping those that you care about safe is the honorable decision. And so I guess for him, it's that honor is kind of fluid. Honor is not something that you can define for him. It is doing what is most right. And so far, while he has lived his life in adoration of Ari, he's still not going to be told what he thinks is right. So, yeah, honor's important, and I don't think that he's yet had to face a moment where he feels like he's been on the other side of it. That we've seen. There are parts of Pog that he himself needs to redefine about his own honor, to reclaim for himself, which you and I know.
Yeah.
We appear to be getting closer to others knowing as well. And so that's why the fight for what is good, and doing that in a way where that's what he is known for, is important.
Cool. And then Eric also asks, did Solarca give Pog anything to carry into the Red Ring?
A kiss on the cheek.
Is that their first?
Great. Okay. So I had permission to go into headcanon, and I think we have comfortably established that this is where Pog and Solarca are at. We obviously said we weren't going to role play the entirety of their relationship. We've had weeks since the last date. Not everything has been those 2 very bad days. They have gone out again. Pog's not interested in anything past really just liking Solarca. So where we're at is they've kissed. The big thing is that they're not just like holding hands on a walk home from dinner or from a whatever they're doing. This was a kiss on the cheek, claiming him in a stable filled with other gladiators, in a room full of viable options. Solarca kissed him on the cheek, and this is my champion. That's big for our boy Pog, you know. He's got, I don't know how much I can safely say, he's got the support of people that care about him. But for her, in front of a room of strangers, to kiss him on the cheek and wish him the best, that's big in that moment for our boy Pog. He stood up straighter. He chest puffed out, you know. It's newfound pride and purpose there. So yeah, that was big. No Knight's Tale handkerchief tucked away under a bracer or anything. No William Wallace stuff. No, just a kiss in front of Kolos. He was right. She is here.
So I have one more question from me. The gladiatorial fight kind of, to me, puts a cap over the next couple episodes, obviously, puts a cap on chapter 2, which obviously focused in around the issue with the Stormhammers. What do you think has changed about Pog? What do you think's different about Pog as far as his story in your head? Because I think we've been seeing some changes in Pog, especially recently. What do you think what's different now?
Man, this would have been a very different question to ask after we had only recorded the first episode of this, as opposed to where we are at the end of this. Pog is confident is the wrong word, but Pog is more self-aware. And instead of just being grateful to be a part of the group, he's starting to, or rather than being grateful to be along with the group, he's starting to feel the need to feel a place in the group. And he doesn't want to just be the big guy in the back. No desire to be a face, no desire to be a leader, but he's starting to recognize that, he wants to be a part of the conversation. He wants to be more recognized than he has felt so far. And so there's a determination to Pog, which now that Stormreach is not just a place that they are getting buy-in, it's in a place that they're establishing themselves. There's a lot on the line for Pog with that, it started with, I don't want to lose my job because I like working for Carl, to we are responsible for the good of people here, for the safety of people here. And we need to stand up in front of the things that are bad. And we haven't addressed it in game yet. But the fact that the Stormhammers have been gone now, that's all bad. That's all bad. Pog is not okay with that because we gave them the thing that they said would make them entirely more dangerous instead of facing them while they were pretty dangerous. And that's doesn't bode well for whether Pog were ever to see the end result of that. We probably will. But
sorry, hang on.
Oh no! And roll. Pog has died. Yeah, it doesn't bode well. And so Pog is going to be much stronger going forward. There's a great sense of self-awareness that you guys will understand when you get to the end of this arc that Pog will have had come to him. So, yeah, there's a lot that will be changing in Pog in the very near future. Boy, howdy.
Do you think so with that, with Pog starting to feel that he's responsible, at least in some way, for the good of the people of Stormreach, for making a positive difference in his community? Do you think Pog still longs to go adventuring? Does he still want to adventure in the great wide out there or whatever, somewhere, the great wide somewhere? There it is. Or is now being heroic here the thing?
That's a good question. I would say that when he wakes up in the morning, it is still from dreams of adventure. However, being tasked with keeping the Rebel Warren gang and the Bright Dooms safe is the first really important thing he's done. And so while there are dreams of grandeur and glory, there's also the reality of responsibility that has settled in. I feel like it's been very clearly portrayed that there's no interest in Mrs. Bright Doom, other than I'm responsible to help with this family. This is a family that I have told can count on me. And so, even packing up to go off on an adventure like that without them, it's weird to think that they would have to not be in any way vulnerable before that would be an option. The Rubble Warren gang would have to be squared away and not being the Rubble Warren gang before they weren't in danger. Yeah, still out there in glory, but there's stuff that has to be fixed at home first.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Well, I'm excited to see where it goes next, because while I have some control over what I present you guys next, but where we will go is I am learning, just so out of my hands.
Probably to talk to a bunch of people.
No, I joke, but I have loved that. Like I love that about D&D. I love my players going so very off the rails and surprising me, as you will see in the next episode. There's some very big surprises.
What's fascinating to me is that as the new guy, when you literally throw the book, is I recognize I'm about to learn something about Eberron. Like I am as a player am about to learn something. I don't know, like a giant culture, world lore associated. Who's never going to know that unless we have this conversation. So it's fascinating to see where things go.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Eric. Thank you for that great question. If you have other questions, please feel free to put them in comments below, where you can also find links to all of our socials, as well as to Colin's Twitch, where you can see him at twitch.tv/sorrybtr. The O is a 0, and streaming Tuesdays.
Every Tuesday with some kind of story game, and every other chance that Restaurant Life allows me to.
Yes. Excellent. Yeah. Do also check out Mia's stream at twitch.tv/morethanamia. She also hosts a watch party for Khyber Shards on Mondays on her Discord. So please go check out her stream as well. Give her some love for the just amazing fun that she brought to
100%.
this arc of Khyber Shards, and just for her being such a great friend of the show and a big supporter of our efforts here. We certainly appreciate likes and comments and subscribes and shares and, all of the things that feed ye old algorithm and get the word out about our little chaos over here.
I mean, you heard us start the outro, so you turned your phone upright again, and you're reaching your thumb over to hit that pause before you drag down and find your next one. The thumbs up is right under it. Just
It's right there.
hit that thumbs up real quick. Appreciate you. All right, now
Also,
carry on.
let us know what the Etten should be named. Like, tell us the Etten's name in the comments, because me and Eric just forgot to name this character who's awesome and delightful and hysterical. So,
Great.
Yeah.
Please do.
Anyway, new episodes of Khyber Shards drop on Mondays. Thank you so much for watching. This has been Khyber Shards, and thanks for rolling with us.